So I think it's safe to say that I'm literally in love with almost every single character, if not every single character in You and I Are Polar Opposites. And frankly, I feel like this romance anime doesn't have a single bad character. I think overall, every character in this anime is to a certain extent like enjoyable to watch, really, really like easy to root for, wanting them to like, expand like their romances and stuff like that. And I will admit, like I'll say this right here, like pretty blatantly, that the main couple, right, Suzuki and Tani, I'm not even the biggest fan of them. It doesn't mean they're bad by any means. They're great. They're hilarious, they're funny, they have their cute moments. But for me personally, I'm way more invested in every other character almost, right? And it probably has a lot to do with the fact that they are the main characters, right? So I've already seen a lot more of them than I probably have of the other characters. But the reality is, it's like every single character in this anime is just so damn amazing. Like every character in this romance anime is a top tier character. And frankly, like there's a world where we could have gotten kind of spin-offs on every single coupling that we have here, right? I think that would be insane. And we got to start from the beginning of the most recent episode, because the most recent episode shows us essentially three different couples for the most part. Yes, Tida and Asuma are not together, but it's three different couples in their own right. Now we start with Yamada and Nishi, then we go to Tani and Suzuki, and then we go to Asuma, and Tida. Now, we start with Yamada and Nishi, and you guys know how much I love these two. Like, I am obsessed with these two. I love the confession. I loved all those things that led up to eventually this moment. But they go on a date together, and I'm obsessed with this date. Like, I am actually loving it. Now, obviously, it starts with them kind of like studying, and she kind of talks about how she likes getting ahead on things. It makes her relax knowing that she essentially is ahead on a bunch of stuff, or she doesn't have to essentially worry about things and stuff like that, which I can understand that sentiment. But then eventually they go out and go on a proper date, which is to the aquarium. And I was like, hey, I love the aquarium dates. I'm a big fan of aquarium dates in romance animes. And this one, it's pretty up there for me. And the reason why, it feels like it's two people just actually enjoying themselves to like a crazy degree. Now, obviously there are a little moments of awkwardness, right? Of course, right? Just because that's who they are. But overall, there isn't that much of it. And really the awkwardness mostly comes from Nishi essentially not knowing if basically Yamada's having fun, or not knowing if she should essentially be taking pictures with her camera, whatever. But honestly, we end up getting to the point where they're both going around in awe of everything that's in the aquarium, taking pictures together, taking pictures of the fish, taking pictures of, jellyfish and all this other stuff. And honestly, it's such a cute thing because it looks like the two of them are having like the greatest time you could possibly imagine. And funny enough, you get moments where Nishi's worried that Yamada's not going to have fun the way that she's having fun, because she's having a freaking fantastic time. Like, she's having the best time in the world, and she obviously loves the aquarium. So for her, she's like, I'm having a great time, but I want to make sure that he's having a good time, or I want him to have a good time. But for him, this dude is having the best time in the world. Like, he is having the best time in the world as we're speaking. And he's such an easygoing person, so it's pretty easy to think like, all right, yeah, this guy's gonna have a good time whatever they do. I mean, probably the only thing that he would not necessarily like is, sitting there and studying. That's probably not his favorite thing he would want to do. But overall, they are together, and that's all that matters to him. And the entire time, right, with them looking at all the fishes and stuff like that, or all the fish, it's so cute. Like, it is actually adorable. And then eventually they go to like see like kind of like the Shamu show. Like, that is kind of like the whole thing around it. And what's great about this moment is that Nishi initially is like, oh snap, we're in the splash zone. Like, maybe we should leave. Like, maybe we should move back and not be in the splash zone. But then Yamada's like, oh, no worries, I'm just gonna run and get us ponchos, like blah blah blah, and he just goes sprinting off to go get the ponchos. And you're sitting there like, yeah, I mean, he wants everything to be as good as they possibly can be. Like, that is the person he is. He is going to accommodate as much as he can, as much as he has to. He's going to do whatever he has to do to make sure that she feels comfortable, that she feels happy about what they're doing, that she feels, you know, all these things. And of course, it's a pretty damn enjoyable moment overall for the two of them. And I love it. I mean, I love it so much, especially when they put the ponchos on and then essentially the show goes on and they get splashed like crazy. They have a little cute moment where they're all like smiling, laughing, having a good time. And it's definitely heartwarming. Like, their little date here is heartwarming as heck. And it makes you be like, yeah, I'm glad we got this date scene sooner rather than later. I'm glad we just like are jumping into their relationship. We're not wasting any time. Let's just go, right? Let's just go right into their relationship, because we did take some time to develop it, like their friendship, stuff like that. It had a little bit of time. Obviously, it wasn't like your typical slow burn or anything like that. Like, it wasn't super slow, but it wasn't instant either. It wasn't like Tani and Suzuki where it was like instant. So it was nice seeing them essentially start their date. Like, they are dating. Like, they are going out to dates. I thought that was really cool. And then the end of the date is probably the best part of the date in its entirety, because you essentially get a moment where Nishi was concerned, like, hey, like, did you actually have fun? I want to make sure that you actually enjoyed yourself and stuff like that. And he eventually tells her like I'm happy, I'm having fun with whatever you want to do because it's with you, right? Like, because it's with you. At the end of the day, anything I do with you, I'm gonna have the best time ever. And I think that is probably the best thing you could have said at the end of a date. And she gets all like, you know, she gets all red faced and all that stuff. And the truth is, Yamada really is like that, you know, happy-go-lucky person that would genuinely mean this. Like, he means this to his core. Like, he's like, all I want to do is spend time with you. Like, that's all that matters to me. And yeah, I had a great time. I had a really fun time at the, you know, at the aquarium, all that stuff. But I'm gonna have a fun time no matter what we do, because it's with you. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty damn cute. Like, that is pretty damn cute. And I had a great time watching these scenes. Like, I love these are my two favorites, like, for sure. This is my favorite couple, for sure. But I will admit, it's not like the margin for difference in terms of the couples is that big. Like, I love all these couples. Like, just overall, I just love them all. But Yamada and Nishi, I will say, as of right now, is probably still my favorite couple. And I think the more they grow, the more they get comfortable, the more they go out on dates and stuff like that, it's only gonna get better. And now, with that said, I do want to go on to the next couple that we're going to talk about, which is obviously the main couple, Tani and Suzuki. Now, I will say there's only really a couple things I want to talk about the Tani and Suzuki date. Mainly, the very beginning, we get a point where essentially Suzuki's dad is like, oh, it's Tani? Like, he's making a big deal over Tani being on the phone and wanting to talk to Tani, because he obviously likes him so much. Like, I love the fact that these parents love him, right? And these parents, and vice versa as well. Like, the parents of Tani love Suzuki as well. So that right there is also a really adorable thing to see. Frankly, I would love to see a little bit more of it, of, like, you know, their parents loving them and being, you know, a big fan of them. I would love to see more of that, because frankly, they've been together for a little bit now, right? It hasn't been like super long, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like they've been together for 4 years, but they've been together to a certain extent for a decent little bit. So having the parents, you know, make it known more often, like, oh, where's Tani, where's Suzuki, like, we want to see her. I honestly want to see stuff like that. Like, I do like that. Like, that is really, really funny, really enjoyable, just a really adorable aspect that we could really add to their relationship. So I'm glad I saw a little bit of that, where he's essentially like wanting to know, hey, what's Tani doing? Like, oh, like, ask Tani about this. And then obviously she's like, oh, like, it gets all embarrassed and stuff like that. And then the two of them end up going on a pretty typical date. I feel like they like going on walks together and just being each other's presence, which is always cool. I think that is like really cool, that you don't need to spend a ton of money to like, hang out with each other, be together and, be around each other. And yeah, there's some funny moments in here where, like, there's a moment where she's like, oh, he must have planned something crazy because his backpack is so full of something, but it's actually just like a plastic thing, a plastic like sheet, so that they can sit down together, which is also very thoughtful, right? Like a very thoughtful thing as well. But obviously Suzuki was thinking a little bit more outlandish, like, oh, maybe he has a surprise for me, whatever. But overall, I feel like it's really cute. Like them walking together, like their conversation. There's still that little bit of Tani that wonders like what he's saying, if he truly believes it, if he's not worried about them, like, not being in the same class together or something along those lines. And he essentially admits to himself, at least, that he essentially is just saying things that he knows will make her feel more comfortable, which I was like, yeah, that's understandable. Like, you want your lady to feel comfortable. Like, you want your lady to feel okay about things that are probably a little scary, because the last time we checked, right, Tani and Suzuki have been in the class together for this entire time, but now they're going to be separated, right? Now they're not going to, be around each other nowhere near as much and all the above. So yeah, like, how is that going to affect their relationship? So that is something that obviously both of them are worried about, but really someone like, Tani is heavily worried about it, but is trying to make her feel comfortable, right? That it's going to be okay. Like, we're going to be fine. Like, I'm going to see you like all the time still, like whenever I can, whatever. And I think that's really cool for him, especially for someone who maybe doesn't understand social cues the way he does, to understand, like, this is my woman, this is my girl, and I want to protect her. I want her to feel okay. I want her to feel happy. I want her to feel safe, right? All these things. So I really did like that he was like, I may not believe it, that it's like, like I might be scared, right? Like, too, but I want her to know that, like, everything's going to be okay. That I feel like everything's going to be okay no matter what, which I think is a pretty cool thing as well. And at the end of the day, even, and I'm skipping a couple things because it's not really anything I want to talk about, but the major things is what I really want to talk about. Obviously, we get a point at the end where she gets real close to his face and stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness, is she feeling to kiss him? I was like, that would have been crazy, but she actually doesn't do that. But she does do something that I thought was really cute. Was she put a little flower in his, like, above his ear, and he didn't even notice. Like, he didn't even notice and didn't even think about it. And that kind of shows how much he's in love with her, right? Like, you got that moment where they're face to face and he is not thinking about a single thing in this gosh darn universe, right? It's just you and her, right? That is what he felt like. So it's funny that she put the little flower in there, and then that was about it. And then he goes home and his grandma kind of points it out and is like, oh, that's so cute. Like, that's cute. And he's like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really cute moment overall. But like I said, I want to talk about all three of these quote-unquote couples. Obviously, the next one, Azuma and Tida, are not technically a couple yet. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. But yeah, they're not a couple just yet. But they do have moments together in this episode that I was frankly like a huge fan of, because they are obviously not progressed anywhere near as close to Yamada and Nishi and anywhere near as close as Tani and Suzuki. They are a slow burn to its fullest, and it's basically Azuma figuring out that she has feelings for Tida, right? A lot more than she's ever thought in her life. And I just love the fact that she answers the phone, right? It's Yamada. She's like, oh, yeah, like, whatever. What's going on? And essentially, Tida speaks, and it's like, oh, my goodness, what the heck is going on? And she kind of even freaks herself out a little bit. Now, she does go and has like, dinner with them or whatever. And she doesn't sit next to Tida. But I thought this was a cool little moment, because she doesn't sit next to him because she's like, oh, I smell, so I don't want to sit next to him. So she sits next to Yamada, and I was like, hey, that's pretty funny. Like, that's an enjoyable moment. And then she has a crazy inner monologue, right, with herself, that she's like, what's going on? Do I really have these feelings? Like, what is happening? And she is like breaking down to herself, like, these feelings that she thinks that she has for him specifically. And she is just going through all the motions and emotions, right? Emotions, to try to figure out, like, what is this? Like, what are these feelings? Why do I feel this way? Why is it that when I heard his voice, my heart kind of like skipped a beat? When I heard his voice and I heard his name or whatever, I kind of was like, oh my goodness, like my heart jumped a little bit. And we see that as well later, because a little bit later they go to the school. They're looking at like, oh, what classes do we have, right? Who's together with who? And then she hears the name Tida, and that freaks her out. Like, we get a bunch of moments like that where she's like, she hears his name and is like, oh my goodness, like I'm jumping a little bit, right? Like she's jumping, like she got really nervous. And I'm just sitting there like, damn, bro. Like, I guess the reality is she's been around so many bad men, like in terms of just like bad boyfriend, bad, potential boyfriend, whatever, that she's like now seeing what's in front of her, right? She's seeing a really good guy that has, let's be honest, confidence issues right in front of her, right? And she's starting to realize like, holy, I think I'm in love with him, right? And she doesn't like outwardly say this so easily, but she's definitely going through those motions where she's like, am I in love with this guy? Like every time I hear his name, it's almost like I'm being getting jump scared, right? And that's obviously a telltale sign of you're in love with this person, right? She is falling in love with him, if not already in love with him. And, they still meet up. They still go, together. They have their little walk after the school day's over. And he kind of like blitzes past her. And she's like, hey, yo, like, wait up. Like, why are you just walking by me? And he's kind of like, well, it kind of seems like you're walking slow. Like you were thinking about something, whatever. So I was just going to leave you be. And she kind of is like annoyed about that a little bit. Like, come on, bro. Like, why are you leaving me like that? Like, whatever. Let's just walk together. Like it doesn't matter. Let's just walk together. So they walk together. They go, on the train together, and she is literally freaking out. Like she is like in her own head about her feelings, about what's going on, about how she feels about him and all these things. And eventually they're off the train and she's awkward as all could be. And I think this is great because Tida like has no clue, even though she is acting way more awkward than normal. Like he's like, I don't really know. Like he's so clueless, right? So it's honestly hilarious. But there's like a little moment there too where she's like, yeah, we're not in the same class, blah, blah, blah. And then Tida brings up like, oh yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like we'll see each other after school all the time. We'll walk home, or like, we'll walk to the train. We'll be on the train together, whatever. We'll see each other after school all the time. And then he realizes that's not what she meant, right? Like she didn't mean like, oh, like we're not going to see each other anymore or that much anymore. Like that's not exactly what she meant. And he's like super embarrassed by that. Cause I think even a part of him is like, I like being around you like a lot. And even if to him, he doesn't think of it like, oh, I'm in love with her or whatever. And maybe he does. Maybe he's been in love with her forever. But like, that's just something that he hasn't been able to like push out of himself just yet. But the reality is he immediately went to the fact that like, no, don't worry. Like we're going to be like together all the time anyways, like after school. And that's not what she meant. Like he's thinking about being around her is such a cute thing. I thought that was really adorable. But after all that, she wants to like make it clear like she still wants to, be around him, whatever, and all that stuff. And they have a little conversation about it, and then they kind of go their separate ways. And I think the best part of this episode is the literal ending of the episode, because this girl is obviously in love with this guy and she knows it now. And she essentially is like the happiest she's really ever been, because the reality is she's now in love with somebody who's actually a good guy, right? Because she's been in love with all these absolutely crappy people. So finally she's in love with somebody that's actually good. So as she's leaving, she hits like one singular skip. Like she's just starting to skip. And I think that really does show like she's normally that like pretty serious, you know, kind of calm, you know, very cerebral like person, but in this moment she's just like filled with happiness. Like she is so happy that she is literally skipping, and I thought that was great. I thought that was so damn adorable, and I felt like this episode proved to me that this romance anime doesn't really have a bad character. Like there are so many good characters in this romance anime, so many to fall in love with, so many to root for, that you're kind of sitting here like, damn, dude, like I want to see more of him, I want to see more of her, I want to see more. Like you feel like you're not getting what you want. Like it almost feels like these episodes could be an hour long, right? So that we get more of each couple, more of each character. But the reality is, I mean, all these characters are just so damn good that they deserve as much screen time as they possibly can get. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like I said, show some love to the video. I appreciate all the love and support. And yeah, that's really all I got to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.